Washington, D.C. in over 25 years. I had not seen my girlfriend, and she called me the day after President Barack Obama won, which was probably November the 5th, and she said, "Are you coming to D.C.?" And I said, "Yes."
I was so opposed to what had been happening in the country under the Bush administration. I volunteered and worked on the Barack Obama campaign, and then the fact that he actually got elected, I thought I have to go, so I went.
He invited the Tuskegee Airmen to a seat of honor at the swearing in, and my father was one of the Tuskegee Airmen. He's not with us now today, so I figured I had to go and represent the old man.
I had to be there for the moment. Got a Hapa daughter, and just having somebody, a Hapa president from Hawaii, gotta be there, right? I don't know how else you say it.
We get to the airport, and the Punahou band is in our terminal. It was just really exciting to see all these young people about to go be an integral part of a historical ceremony.
Once we landed in Chicago, it was so cold in Chicago, and I happened to look, and I saw a few people with slippers on and shorts. And I asked the guy, "Do you know where you're going?" Once my girlfriend met me in DC, she said, "I have something special for you." She loaned me one of her mink coats. That kept me warm for my duration. That's what friends are for.
To have 2 million people kind of in the same mood, the same happy mood on what was in fact a completely miserable day. It had all the makings of a large crowd being really bummed out and in bad temper and angry with each other, but they weren't. It was a huge crowd of freezing cold, happy people.
Bitter cold, 15 degrees, and we had to wait in 2 major lines. But waiting in line was a very, very pleasant experience because of the spirit and the aloha of the people that we met.
It was cold, the air, but the sun was shining, and the warmth of the people there was just extraordinary. It was as if there was heat generating out of the audience.
This is profoundly what democracy is all about. All of these people came here, they were utterly connected, they were open, they had faith, they were engaged, they were informed, they were alive, they were cold, but they were happy. They were really happy.
I think one of the things that I was so struck by was the enormous importance that this event held for people who weren't from Hawaii. I mean, seeing families, 3, sometimes 4 generations of people bringing their infants and their grandmothers and their grandfathers.
I saw people in wheelchairs as well as little babies who would look like they had just been born the day before.
It was just about being together and the energy of the people, and we could sort of see through the Jumbotron who was coming out of the chute.
It was a roar in the crowd, but it was like this sigh of relief too. I mean, it's hard to express what 2.5 million people in one spot.
Yes, it was tight. It was very crowded, but people were doing it with smiles on their faces. We were sharing cabs together. You were helping old ladies. People were crying and happy about this event.
I don't cry that easily, but many of us were in tears when Obama was sworn in. And a lot of us turned to people who an hour before were strangers, and we were all hugging each other and everybody was crying. It was such a celebrative sort of moment. It was fantastic.
There was a moment where we got to stand still and recognize Barack Obama as President of the United States, and listen to the prayers, and listen to the song, and listen to the speech, and be moved by that.
During the actual swearing in, I think we all just looked at each other. President Obama is being sworn in as president. It's really happening. Wow, he made it.
Love was in the air. When President Barack Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama walked on that stage, if you weren't in love then, you wanted to be in love. Just the happiness. And they were so thrilled and proud of each other and of accomplishing what they set out to do. The formula worked.
They don't say it in Washington, but the sense of aloha that you felt in that group of millions of people, people felt like incredible joy and love.
Just being there amongst like-minded people who had respect for the United States institution, respect for the presidency, and to see the torch pass.
I don't think I've ever been in a situation like that where you really could feel this communal joy and pride. And it made me realize that when that many people decide to do the same thing at once, that you really can sort of shift the world on its axis. You could almost feel like the whole world kind of having a little adjustment just by the way we thought about it.
All waves dissipate in the sand. Always, no matter how large they are, no matter what kinetic energy is there, no matter how powerful, how huge they are, they all disappear in the sand. And so he either had to ride that wave, or the wave would pass him by or pass over him. And he had the courage and the confidence to be able to say, yes, I'm going to ride this wave. I know it's coming and I'm going to be on it and I'm going to be able to handle it.
It was the only time I've ever gone up to the mainland, gone to the continent, and it felt like Hawaii. People on subways just striking up small talk, people smiling at each other in the streets.
We are, you know, in some ways an unlikely couple, and we have this wonderful, gorgeous daughter, and it's just amazing to me that at the same time there's this shift and change in certainly our country, certainly the world.
This instilled in every child's heart and mind that you are able to be who you want to be. What Barack did instill is hope.
If I would say, what were some of the highlights of your whole life? I would say I was in Washington to see President Obama sworn in as president.